I normally don't start recording while I'm preparing, but Luna's here, being a little menace. Hello friends, it's Claudes and I am back with another video. So, as you can see by the title, we are going to be reviewing House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. Okay, just a quick reminder that this is a sequel, and though I won't be saying spoilers, or I don't think I'll be saying spoilers about the first book, but if you have yet to read this and you plan to and you really want to go into it without knowing anything, now's your chance to leave the video. Like, bye! Come back later when you're done reading this. Okay? Okay. So this video is going to be in two parts. We've got no spoilers first, and then later on, I'm going to tell you at what point in the video we're going to start saying spoilers so that you can leave and then come back later after reading this. But for now, if you're still undecided if you want to read this, keep watching and hopefully I can convince you. Have all the people who who haven't read the first book of Crescent City left gone? Okay, we're good. So first of all, just like the first book, there is a lot of sexual tension between Hunt and Bryce, but in the first book, the sexual tension's there because they're still like dancing around their feelings for each other and shit like that. But in this book, they are pretty much together-ish. Like, they know where they stand. If this were like a Filipino concept, they would be MU. Mutual understanding. Elementary school ba to, girl? Anyway, we have a lot of sexual tension between Hunt and Bryce, which I absolutely love. Like, which one of them is gonna break first? Are they gonna have sex before like shit goes down? And I really thought that Sarah J. Maas was gonna tease us and give us only like one sex scene at the very end of the book. Let's just say the sexual tension built up, and Miss Maas gave us a lot of spicy time. Other than like the sexual tension and stuff, and like all the sexual content that happens in this book, I also love that we get to see more of the other characters. Like in the first book, it was mostly Bryce, Hunt, and Rune. But in this book, in the second book, we get a whole lot more perspective on the other characters. So in this book, we get more of Therion, the merman, and we also get a lot of Ethan, Connor's brother, one of the wolves. And we don't get their POVs, but we do see a lot more of Flynn and Declan, which I absolutely love, because when I was reading the first book, I absolutely loved Flynn and Declan. They were just like the best bros, okay? And I love that we get to see more of like Rune and his friends being just bros. I love it, okay? It's so fun to see, and their chemistry together is so good. And I love that we get a lot more back and forth between like Flynn and Bryce. There's this one scene somewhere in the middle that they have a back and forth, and something about their past is somewhat revealed. It's not like a serious thing. It's just like a joking kind of thing. But Hunt's reaction to it was just absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I love that. Other than getting more scenes of the other characters, or with the other characters rather, we get a lot of information about what Danica was up to prior to her demise in the first book. Learning all the information. Luna, I swear if you bump the stand. Yeah, you better be mindful. No, Luna, no! Oh, she was really careful. I'm so proud. Anyway, we get to learn a lot about what Danica was up to prior her death in the first book. And with knowing what she was up to, a lot of questions are also answered. Questions that were brought up in the first book. But at the same time, we get a lot of questions brought up in this book that are pretty much yet to be answered. So I'm really, really hoping for that. And also, towards the end, there was a lot of info dumps that it kind of makes sense because of the whole situation, but at the same time it was just so info dumpy that I kind of speed read through because I was very close to the end and I just needed to know who lived or died. So most likely before the next book comes out, I'm gonna do a whole like reread and properly read that this time now that I know what happens. But we'll get to that later on in the next part of this video. Something that really irked me about this book as well, which also the same when I read the first book, but now that it's a second book, there are more characters added. I really hated the titles or the nicknames of the angels, the triarii. It annoyed me so much. Why? Because we have like names like the Hound ba? The Hound, the Hammer, the Hind, blah blah blah, and a lot of them start with H, and it's really, really annoying. Okay, it's like I don't know who these people are anymore, and I don't mind that these characters have a whole lot of like their nicknames. I just wish that there was like a list or something at the back, right? Like a character list or something, just so that when like let's say the Hammer is brought up, okay, who's the Hammer again? Like a quick check at the back would be nice, right? So yeah, that's something I wish that we had. Maybe even a glossary as well, because there are a lot of terms in this book that I need help like remembering. So at least a list of terms at the back would be nice, just so that I can quickly remember once it's brought up in the plot or something. So that's pretty much it for my non-spoiler part. And other than that, I rated this 4.5 stars. It would have gotten the extra 0.5 had I not been confused by all the characters. So like, yeah, that's really my only wish. But I really enjoyed reading this. It took me a while to finish it. She's a big girl. She's a big girl, and it took me a while to finish it. It took me about a week to read this book, and I'm really glad I took my time because there was a lot of information happening and being given throughout this book that every few chapters you kind of need time to process. So yeah, that was great. That was fun, and I really hope that you guys pick up Crescent City soon, and maybe we can talk about this book. Anyway, so for the people who do not want to see spoilers or don't want to hear spoilers, now's your time to leave. So please give a like, comment, subscribe, and bye! Okay, they left. Everyone who doesn't want to see spoilers have left the building. We're good. Going once, going twice, and gone. Okay, so I gave you all a chance. We're gonna start spoilers now, okay? Okay. To the next page of my notes. We get a lot of spicy time, man. We get a lot of spicy time. I really thought Sarah J. Maas was gonna like give us like one spicy scene and leave it at the end to leave us wanting more. But like, she was really like, no, I just wanted to like keep you all hooked, but here's the gift. So Look, look, I know we all make fun of Sarah J. Maas and her writing about wingspans and all that and all the spicy time, but listen, okay? After writing Avatar and then Throne of Glass, she's gotten a lot better at her spicy time content, and I am very thankful for that because I actually enjoyed the spicy time in this book. I really hope my parents aren't watching this. But listen, first we got Bryce giving head, and then Hunt giving head, and then the multiple grand finales. And I just love that Bryce is so casual about her sex life. Like, everyone can smell what she and Hunt have done, and she's just like, what about it? Are y'all jealous? And just Rune is just Rune throughout this whole book is just disappointed in his sister. And you know what? Whenever Rune and Bryce are in the room, he's just a big mood. And I can really see the whole sibling dynamic between them. Like, granted, they really are siblings. And though they didn't grow up together or they weren't close for a lot of years, I love seeing it. And I think Ms. Maas has actually done a pretty good job of doing that, because I really do see the sibling bond between them. And I was really pissed at like some point. I forgot who it was, but someone was implying that maybe Rune had feelings for his sister or something. I know it was one of the angels, I think, but like that really, really irked me. Like, please, Sarah J. Maas, I do not need another Jace and whatever her name was. Sorry to the City of Bones fans here. No, let's move on from the spicy time, because yeah. Other than like the spice that happens between Hunt and Bryce, look, Miss Maas has a certain formula that she's done with her first two series. She's done this with ACOTAR and she's done this with Throne of Glass. And this formula, so to speak, is having her main character fall in love with one male in like the first book, and then have them break up in the next, and then introduce another male lead to be the new love interest. I have to admit, I really thought Hunt and Bryce were gonna break up. And honestly, when I reread this a few weeks ago, I realized that Hunt and Rune had a lot of sexual tension between them. And honestly, I kind of wanted them to get together. Like, I'm not angry about what happened in the romance in this book, but I was not opposed to the idea of Hunt and Rune getting together. But anyway, moving on from that, again, I really thought that they were gonna be all, I wanna break up with you. And then she would maybe fall in love with, what's his face? Ethan. Or, I thought Cormac would be in the running. Thankfully, he wasn't. But I really thought that Ethan would be in the running, or maybe Flynn would be in the running, just based on how SJM was writing it. And not that there was like a lot of like tension with Flynn. I just really like Flynn, okay? So yeah, that's what I was thinking would happen. But I'm very thankful that with all the shit going down, Sarah J. Maas didn't do that. However, she did sort of do it with a different character, and I think that was Rune and Hypaxia. In the first book, it never explicitly said that Rune was falling for Hypaxia or Hypaxia was falling for him, or they were like romantically involved whatsoever. But they did have a lot of good chemistry in the scenes that they were both in the first book. And you know, Sarah J. Maas like really led on with that. So with that whole thing about Rune being knight and then meeting with Day to have their rebel update meetings, you could see that, okay, he's gonna fall in love with Day. Like, it's pretty predictable. But I already guessed early on who they would be, and I knew it would be one of the angels. But I honestly thought it would be Celestine. So when it was revealed that Celestine, yes, was in love with someone else and not her betrothed, I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very shook. I didn't guess who it was because, as I said early on, I couldn't like keep up with like which member of the angels was. Yeah, everyone was just so confusing. I really only guessed that it would be one of the angels, but I didn't like guess who it was specifically after Celestine, because after that I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna guess anymore. I'm just gonna let Sarah reveal her shit to me. And I was partially right. It was one of the angels, which I'm not angry about. At least it wasn't like a whole new character that was introduced just to be Rune's love interest. Like, there was an actual like reason for it. You get what I mean? Like, there was an actual build up toward it. And when I realized who it was, it made sense. It kind of made sense. And I really hope that maybe in the third book, we do get to know more about this character's intentions, because I really think there's gonna be a deeper backstory behind that. I wanna talk about Ethan. I love that we get more of Ethan. And I love that Ethan is separated from the other wolves. So we really do get to see more of him and his character growth. Do I forgive him for what he put Bryce through? No. But I do love that Bryce does forgive him, because it's her character. It's not in her nature to be like overly angry at someone. And she still does love Ethan as like a friend. And I know I said early on that I really thought Sarah J. Maas would like put Ethan in the running to be Bryce's new love interest. But one reason why I'm really glad that that didn't happen was because we all know from the first book that Connor, Ethan's older brother, had feelings for Bryce, and had he not died along with Danica and the other pack of devils, he and Bryce would have gone on a date, possibly even had a long-term relationship. Now, why do I not like the fact that Ethan had feelings for Bryce? It's just, I know, like, yes, Bryce is gorgeous and everybody loves her, blah blah, but really, man, I don't know, I don't like the idea that this guy would have a crush on the girl his older brother was also crushing on. Not that it's unrealistic, it's just in terms of story, like, really, how many men are gonna fall for Bryce? You get what I'm saying? So I'm really glad that Sarah didn't like go through with that storyline, or that, yeah, because I don't know, it would have turned me off. And also because Ethan is a bit younger than Bryce, and not that it's like not allowed or anything, but I don't know, it seems so weird to me, because hi, editing Clauds here. I think what I was trying to say was that I saw Ethan's crush on Bryce as a more of a puppy dog love type of thing. So it had almost come completely out of nowhere for me for him to have truly romantic feelings for Bryce. And I don't know, man. I like, so much would be going on, and for that, like, to add in that possible storyline as well of Ethan having feelings like that for Bryce, I don't know, it's just a lot. It would just be a lot. So I think that's why I'm really glad that we didn't see him and Bryce get together. I still do love Ethan as a character, and I love that we do get to see more of him. And like, I love that he's besties with Rune and the other guys. I really love that. And I love that, especially that scene when he goes to live with Rune when he goes to live with Rune and Bryce and Flynn and Declan, and he just feels so welcomed. And if we had a whole story around these four guys, it would be found family, because he felt it. He felt like he found his new family, his new pack, so to speak. And yeah, I really like that. That really warmed my heart. So yeah. Speaking of wolves, let's talk about Danica. Miss Fenrir. She did a lot before her death. She's dead, but I know for sure she's gonna be mentioned a lot as well in the third book. She dug up a lot of information that was very important. I think a lot of it are still pretty much unanswered. And not only what information she was able to find, but there are a lot of questions to her motives as well. Like, why did she do this and that? Like, correct me if I missed anything, because as I said, the last few chapters were very info dumpy, so I was kind of dazed a bit reading that. It's you want to stop reading because you're so full of information, but you just want to keep reading because you're so close to the end anyway. So yeah. And with Danica, other than learning what information she has, she had a mate. She found her mate. And that really shook me. I did not expect that Baxian was helping them because Danica was his mate. And if Bryce had known about Baxian, they would have had a we're mourning for Danica type of friendship. And I really do hope that maybe Bryce and Baxian would have a little bit of closure together. Maybe there were a lot of things that Bryce wants answered, and possibly Baxian has the answers to. So I don't know. I hope in the future we do get a scene with Bryce and Baxian just talking things out and talking about Danica, and maybe for the sake of Danica, even becoming friends. I really liked Danica, okay? I was really upset when she died. I really liked her as a character. I also do kind of wish that maybe Sarah J. Maas gives us a prequel and just makes it all about Danica and what she was up to. Because Danica went through so much, okay? She did so much. And there are a lot of things that, as I said, when it was kind of revealed what Danica found out and all that, she was very info dumpy. So I would like to see it as a book. I would like to see her fall in love with Baxian through her point of view. And also, can we just talk about the fact that these besties, okay, Danica and Bryce both fell in love with angels. Isn't that... they really are besties. They have the same type of men. The family drama. The Fenrir family drama. So with Ethan finding out that there is another Fenrir who could fight Sabine for their place, I am shocked. I wasn't sure where the wolf storyline was gonna go. With everybody hating on Sabine. I really didn't I wasn't really paying much attention to the wolf packs because with everything going on with Bryce and Hunt and the Angels and Danica, I kind of spaced out through a lot of the wolves thing. But when we find out towards the end that the wolf that Ethan finds is actually a Fenrir, yo, I am ready for the Fenrir family drama that is going to happen. Ethan is going to lead a fucking wolf revolution, and I am here for it. I am here for Ethan to grow into his place as an alpha and be all, yeah, bitch. Danica, I hope you're proud. Connor, I hope you're proud of me. We stand. Okay. Quick question. Did Sarah J. Maas like ever reveal how many books that Crescent City is going to have? Because at the rate she's going, if she hasn't, if she already has, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe she's gonna be doing 4 books, cause we have, you know, like the 4 houses in Crescent City, right? So we've got House of Earth and Blood, Sky and Breath, Many Waters, and Flame and Shadow. That's 4 houses. So, with each of the houses being the titles of the Crescent City books, does that mean we're, you know, does that mean we're gonna be getting 4 books? Does that mean that maybe House of Many Waters is the next book? Cause that's the order it's set in. The 4 houses of Midgard. Oh my god, wait, I just noticed something. Oh my god! Okay, this is the quick segue. I just noticed this now. But I like that they kinda changed the design a little bit. Because here, everybody thought that the title of the story itself was Crescent City. But the actual title is House of Earth and Blood, and Crescent City is the name of the series. But because House of Earth and Blood is so small, you kind of think it's just like, oh, an added title to the actual title or whatever, like, you know what I mean? But here, I think whoever designed the covers kind of learned from that mistake and now put House of Sky and Breath, a Crescent City novel. And I don't know, I think that's a lot better than how they did this, because at least there's less confusion. If you've also read ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, then we might all be in agreement that Sarah J. Maas writes her female main characters very similarly, or at least to me, Eileen and Bryce are written very similarly, because they're both their character, like, one, they're all written similarly in the sense that they're all warriors, they're all pretty badass. They're also like great warriors in their own right. Like, they don't need a man to save them. It's nice that they do, but they don't need it, right? In terms of Eileen and Bryce being very similar, Bryce, as you know, what's the name of Sophie's brother? Emil. His name is Emil. So we have Sophie and Emil, right? Sophie is the girl in the prologue who everybody was also trying to find, along with her brother Emil. Bryce, you know, kind of planning things in advance. Like, oh, I already know this is gonna happen, and I might as well just plan for it so that I can take Emil to safety, blah, 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 blah. And Hunt is there just shocked when he realizes that Bryce had this plan out all along, like with her sending her mom postcards as like a cover up for what she was actually doing. That's really smart. And Eileen has done that many times in the Throne of Glass series, but I think most notably that I remember at least being in Empire of Storms, where she does something there, which I will not say here in case anyone here has yet to finish the entire Throne of Glass series. But Eileen and Bryce, like, they are very similar in that regard, and that's not a bad thing. I'm just making an observation that that's how Sarah J. Maas writes her female characters. And honestly, I'm very excited. And if she does choose to write another series in the future with another female protagonist, I am very excited to see how she's gonna write it, because I actually enjoy how she writes her female leads. Farah's but I really love Eileen. I love Bryce so far. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that. Lastly, okay. Speaking of ACOTAR, was anyone prepared for that ending? Was anyone prepared for that ending? Because, like, when she kind of entered another world, and then she saw that, like, I don't know, people were speaking different language, and the clothes were, like, very old school, and she was in, like, a whole other place. Like, she wasn't in hell or whatever. I was shocked. I was thinking, oh my god, is Sarah J. Maas gonna, like, include the characters of Throne of Glass and ACOTAR here? Are we gonna have a Sarah J. Maas multiverse? Miss Ma'am! Miss Ma'am! Marvel better watch out, because Miss Ma'am is starting her own multiverse. And if anyone is going to tell me that, oh, Sarah J. Maas is just keeping up with, like, Marvel because everyone is doing multiverses now, but blah 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 blah, like, no. Do you know how long it takes to write a fucking book? Do you know how long publishing would take, editing and all that? It's very long. And the fact that the multiverse thing only really started last year, I mean, with, like, in regards to Marvel, I'm pretty sure that the multiverse has been like a thing going on around for decades, okay? And it's really, like, only now that the whole multiverse thing is picking up. I'm not angry about that, but listen, if anyone is going to tell me that Miss Moss is only copying Marvel for the whole multiverse thing, I am going to flip, because no, don't you dare, because for sure Marvel planned out the multiverse thing years ago with, like, pre-production and stuff in development, blah 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 blah. That was probably a storyline that was already planned out, but of course they kept a secret. No one knew that they were going to be doing a whole multiverse thing. But now it's just pure coincidence, okay? I will fight. It is just pure coincidence that this book and Miss Moss starting her own multiverse is happening around the same time that Marvel is doing the whole multiverse thing. So listen, if anyone is going to, like, say that Miss Moss is copying Marvel or whatever, blah 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 blah, because I can see it now. I can see the Twitter discourse now. Listen, I will personally find a way to make Hunt Athalar real and set him on you. Because Miss Ma'am. And also, I personally didn't notice this, but years ago, when Kingdom of Ash came out, which was the last book of Throne of Glass, at this point I had yet to read ACOTAR. I read ACOTAR in the middle of the pandemic in 2020, and I read Kingdom of Ash in 2019. There was a little post I saw on Tumblr that someone noticed a reference to Rysand in Kingdom of Ash. Of course, I didn't, like, notice that because I hadn't read ACOTAR by that time. And by the time I did read ACOTAR, I couldn't find that post anymore. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please comment down below or DM me or whatever. But yeah, I couldn't find it anymore. So I'm really curious about that. But in a way, Sarah J. Maas did kind of start her multiverse from there. And, you know, you kind of think that, because, you know, she's an author with, like, multiple books, that, you know, she would make a reference to another series, you know, just a little bit of fan service, which is fun. Hello, editing Clods again. I just want to point out that I am aware that other authors have done this. Like, we have Percy Jackson, which is, you know, very well known for probably doing this. You know, we got Percy Jackson, then Magnus Chase came in Chronicles, where they're not really multiverses, but they're all stories, happening in a sense. So it's, in a way, it's Riordan verse, right? And then we also have Alice Oseman, who did Heartstopper and Loveless and Radio Silence, and I think it was confirmed that all these stories are happening in like one universe, and it's been nicknamed Oseman verse. So I'm not saying that this is like a brand new idea brought up by Sarah J. Maas. I'm just, like, I'm pointing it out because like I'm rewatching it now. I'm like editing, and I'm just realizing just how much I made it sound like Sarah J. Maas kind of like birthed this idea of the multiverse, and I just want to make it clear that I do not think that. Okay, just want to make that perfectly clear for everyone. But now, she's not just giving us fan service, man. She's giving us a whole damn multiverse! And this whole multiverse thing was actually built up to it. Because I can't remember, because there were a lot of info dumps, remember? There was a part when we find out that there are other species of fae. So there are apparently 2 species of fae, right? One that they said that had wings and such, and another that didn't. Does that sound familiar? Faes that have wings, Aquatar. Faes that don't, Thor of Glass. If Miss Maas doesn't include my favorite Eileen, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so freaking mad. Okay? I can see it, okay? We're gonna finally get the Bryce, Eileen, and Feyre tandem that we all wanted. And also, I can see it. Feyre is gonna be like the mature one who's gonna just be so done with the bullshit Eileen and Bryce are gonna be bringing around with them. And they're gonna be fighting together. And can you just imagine Hunt, Rysand, and Rowan fighting together as well? Yeah. I am very much excited for what's gonna happen. And I have been filming for over 40 minutes. So I'm gonna end the video here. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. So, bye! I really hope you guys read